So I think we need to bring back beatings. Parents can beat their kids. Hindsight being 2020, the beatings weren't that bad. It was not quite like this. Don't actually kill Jake Paul in this fight. Don't beat the kids too much to the point where they're about to die, and still discipline. Jake Paul, did you guys see the Jake Paul fight? Listen, the Jake Paul stuff, I don't like the WWE-ification of everything. Professional sports should be truly competitive, and boxing for a long time has been rigged, or there's been allegations of rigging with the judges and things of this nature. When it comes down to a decision and it's kind of close, or maybe not so close, rigging is very, very popular. It's part of the game, in my humble opinion. And I think Jake Paul, what he's doing is kind of leaning into how rigged it is. Fighting people that don't box, fighting people like Mike Tyson, 60 years old. And even when there's a fight against someone where they're old, past their prime or whatever, it's still rigged. It don't matter how old they are. They can still hurt you badly because they understand how to punch you specifically. Like a well-trained fighter, a guy that was like an Olympian and the world champion, that kind of person has training that you don't even understand. If you go into a ring with a heavyweight boxer and they punch you, you're going to be horribly disfigured. Jake Paul, his jaw was broken off of one punch, in my opinion, in 2 places. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show a little bit of this with the sound off. Look at this here. Now, do you see how big this man is? Anthony Joshua, do you see how big he is? Jake Paul's on a small guy, but Anthony Joshua, I mean, it's like David and Goliath. People are saying, why was his hands down? Because he's tired, running around the ring, not conditioned like Anthony Joshua is. And then you can see this punch right here. Hold on. That right there, man, it was good night. Now, the fight, in my opinion, was rigged, meaning for the first 6 rounds, really, Anthony Joshua was just kind of just toying with him. It was like a lion playing with their food before they eat it. That's kind of what it was. It was like a cat playing with a spool of yarn. That's how it looked like. Until he turned his TV all the way off. And you can see his face like, all of this right here, normally your jaw should go like that, right? It should go straight, like a road, right? But his jaw went like that. His teeth, all of these teeth right here were pushed inward, like toward his tongue. Listen, shout out to Jake Paul for going in the ring and facing that man. But good Lord, man, was it worth it? I don't know how much he got paid to get his jaw rearranged like that. Man. And imagine if he hit him with his full power. He would be dead. Most people are not used to being punched in the face at all. And I would say that the majority of us in this country have not been punched in the face at all, which is probably part of the problem. Hey, let's bring that back. Let's bring back a good face punch, okay, to some people who harass elderly people, little kids, stuff like that. One good face punch would kind of solve a lot of these problems. Okay, one good butt whipping, hey, just like Rob Reiner and his son Nick. Hey, if that was my parents and they had a kid like that, man, the whippings would have been astronomical. The beatings would have been stupendous. They would have beat the crazy right out of them. When you just let things go on, let it fester, then it becomes out of control and you can't do nothing with it. They grew up to be 32 years old, 28 years old, 25 years old, on drugs, confused, and dangerous. So I think we need to bring back beatings. Parents can beat their kids, not to death, but enough. A good whipping. Listen, if you have kids who are bad and you're not whooping them, then I don't understand. I don't really get it. Back in the day, you used to be able to get a spanking at school from the principal or the teacher. They give you the paddle. Remember the paddle? They would paddle you right in school. When I was a kid, it was the switch from the tree. Your grandma would beat you with it, and it wasn't even really that bad. Hindsight being 2020, the beatings weren't that bad. It was not quite like this. But what I'm saying is, when you are beat by your parents as a child, usually, if they do it properly, they're just exerting enough force on you to make the message get across. It's not to actually hurt you. Did you guys see that white lady who had beat her, what was that, 12, 14-year-old boy, whatever it was, because he did something, I think he was 12. The internet was in an uproar.
Oh no, it's abuse.
Abuse? First of all, if your mom at 5 foot even can spank you on your butt and hurt you for real at 12 years old, you soft, number one. And number two, she can't actually hurt you. She's just doing that to instill discipline. That's just pretty much what it is. So yeah, bring that back. Bring back fist fights rather than shooting, killing, things of this nature, rather than somebody leaving all that energy built up in them, rather than that person not being checked ever and then they explode like Nick Reiner, Rob Reiner's son. And may they rest in peace, prayers out to the family. Hey, do you know that Rob Reiner was spending like $70,000 a year or something crazy to try and get his son help? Apparently it didn't work. You know what would have worked? A sandal, a chancleta, a good right cross, maybe. RCL says, everything in moderation. That's right. Everything in moderation. Don't beat the kids too much to the point where they're about to die, but and still discipline. Don't actually kill Jake Paul in this fight, in this rigged fight. Give him one good shot to let him know it's real. Okay, one good shot to let him know that it's real. And that will be enough. That's all you gotta do. Right there, that's all they needed. If you would hit him with the full force, all of this right here would have been over there. I'm talking about this part of his face would have been back there, and that part would have been back there. It would have been asymmetrical. He'd be looking like that permanently.